Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I'm your host, Mark Riccadonna, and with me as always,
Richie Byrne.
Richie. We got a great episode today.
Yes, we do.
I'm very excited for this one because we're good friends with him. He's a writer, he's a director, he's a filmmaker, and if you look at his background, you'll know what company he works for and owns, 624 Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Baldinger.
And he's a graduate of my college.
And a graduate of Wagner College. Yeah, baby.
Yes.
Thanks,
How about
guys.
that?
Thanks for having me on.
It's great.
So Tom and I have a really awesome kind of thing. We have like 3-4 projects that were. So I'm in constant contact with them. And Richie, you got to come on with the one. And we had so much fun.
Can we talk about that for a minute? I've had more people talk about the Facebook posts that you guys did. And I don't think that they realize that there's more to it than that. And I don't know how to make them understand that they're like, well, that was really cute. And I'm like, did you watch the whole thing? They're like, yeah, like the clip on the 30 second. I'm like, no, dude, you got to hit on the, but it's hard for me to get mad because I would be that guy. So like, I'm the guy.
It's
seems like a lot of work, but not a lot of time.
I think there's a common thing that's kind of going on right now in the industry. And Mark, you and I have talked about this, and I've been talking to a lot of different people in the industry. Getting people to go from one social media app to another social media app is almost impossible.
Yeah.
And so, Richie, one of the things that we're going to be doing is all of those episodes, right? The first 8 episodes of season 1, we just had the series finale last week. Those are all on our YouTube channel, but people are not going over to the 624 channel. They're watching on Facebook. They're watching the trailers on Instagram. And we're getting we got over 150,000 views on 2 of our reels last week on Instagram.
Wow. Really?
No joke. And I'm not exaggerating at all. You can look it up. But to get those people.
Because I don't believe you.
No, I'll take a picture. I'll send
kidding.
it to you. Hey, puppy. So I love the dog. The dog's like, what's going
on?
Look,
believe you.
Mark's got his own Tony Walker.
The dog's like, I don't believe this shit.
Does Tony shit on your floor and make you clean it up?
Yeah.
Sometimes eat it?
No, I do. I make him do it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna re-release all of those episodes straight to Instagram and hopefully and collaborate, send invitation collaborations to those people who got us all those views.
Okay.
Because for some friggin' reason, can I curse on here? I don't know if I'm allowed to.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
I've cursed 4 times, Tom, since you've been on.
Some fucking stupid reason people do not click from one to the next. But
you know how ridiculous people are, and this is my frustration because we talk about it at length throughout the whatever episode we're on here at Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling. I hate social media. I hate it.
Me too.
And one of the main reasons I hate it is this. It's the okay, hey, we spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and money to create something really cool. Can you just click on it and see if you like it?
Right.
You can't get on the click over.
It doesn't cost you anything. It's not going to hurt you in any way.
We're not trying to sell you anything. And so you do that and you go, people won't click over. But then after shows, I go to hand cards to people, business cards, and go, follow me on Instagram. I put up stuff every day. Every day I put up 2 reels. Follow me on Instagram. Can't get people to do it. They go, I got to go on Instagram. Then I got to look up your name. I got to do whatever. I get a QR code business card. That has the QR code. You just have to take your camera out, put it up to it, and you go right to my Instagram page and you hit follow. People go, I don't know. I have to take out my camera app.
It is a lot of work, though.
Yeah, I mean, just doing this is a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it's
I'm asking people to move mountains to try to follow me.
It's crazy. But you know what though? It's the unfortunate news we got the other day was Carl Weathers passed away, right?
Yes.
Which really sucked. But I've been and on social media, it's like all these Carl Weather interviews that he's done with people. And I was watching one last night, and he talks about being a movie star and being an actor, right? And he's like, if you want to be a movie star, it's like Eddie Van Halen said it about, you want to be a rock star, you want to be a movie star. you're in the wrong business. But if you want to be an actor, you want to be a working actor, you want to be a working musician, you got to grind, you got to grind, you got to grind. And that's unfortunately, that's what we have to do. We got to keep grinding until, we're up at the Grammys getting our 4th Grammy like Taylor Swift,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, true.
And that's why the 3 of us are on this podcast, and we're going to.
Yeah. I mean, the great thing about this, where we live now, and this is from somebody who's been around for a long time, is that we do now have the ability to do this, at least where, I mean, it may be a pain in the ass to get people to click on it, but at least we can do it now. You have the equipment, Tom, that you couldn't have had 25, 30 years ago, even 15 years ago. We didn't have the social media presence to say, hey, come look at this, and hope that you know what I mean. We were totally in hands of people who could care less. So I mean, I guess from
15 years ago, you had to rely just on film festivals for independent, right?
Yeah.
So it's a crazy time,
there's a lot of good, but I mean, it's also like we're taking away, instead of worrying about writing and instead of worrying about acting, I have to go on and make clips to put online. And it's like, are we lowering the bar? Are we lowering the bar?
Well, unfortunately, we are lowering the bar, and those are the guys that are selling out the comedy clubs.
Well, I'll tell you though, Richie, you were on set. You were awesome. Your episode's one of the popular ones that got real.
Oh, really?
Great. No, yeah, for sure. The reel crushed it. The reel, I think, got up to 10,000 views on it. Just for your reel on the folk festival. But it's funny. I was just driving up to Staten Island to visit my uncle, with my dad, and he goes to me. He goes, "Did he say fuck or folk?" I was like, and I looked at him. I'm like, I don't know. What did you think he said? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, well, then watch it again and see what you hear.
Oh, that's really cool.
You figure it out.
That's really cool. Thank you, Tom. That's awesome. I really enjoy it.
And we're gonna do Mark, can I say
yeah.
or
let's go for it, man.
So we're gonna be doing a season 2 of Checked Out. So
and on Law and Order, they bring actors back to play other parts, Tom. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I'm throwing it. I wouldn't have brought it up if we didn't.
If Dick Wolf can do it, you can certainly fucking do it, Tom. And I'm just saying, maybe a
Governor's Comedy Club.
Maybe a third guy working behind the counter wouldn't be bad either. Throwing it out there.
We're gonna have 15 comedians all working behind the counter.
Yeah. I love it.
Just become. How many employees are at this little grocery store? Actually, Tom, let's talk, because people watching this might not even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
Tell us about Checked Out.
So Checked Out it's a mini web series. Right now it's living on the 624 Productions YouTube channel. We're going to be re-releasing it as full episodes. Each episode's about 4 to 5 minutes long.
Yes.
On Instagram, on our Instagram channel as well. That's going to be coming out in the next week or two. It is about 2 guys who work in a bodega in New York City. One is, I guess you can consider him woke, very sensitive to words and languages and the environment in the world. And then you have the other character who is completely Mel Brooks, anti-woke, doesn't care, says what he wants to say, lives life freely. And then you have the uncle, and that's Mark. You, Riccadonna, you star in. You are our anti-woke gentleman, and you just tell it like it is,
right? Which is amazing.
I love about our characters are they're 3-dimensional, because our woke character got wrongly Me Too'd.
Yes.
So he does have issues toward that. He's not all 100% super woke. Like, he wrongly got Me Too'd. And my character, we're calling him the anti-woke guy, I don't even think he's anti-woke. I think he's just happy to be there. True. I'm just happy to be here, and I'm trying to have a laugh at my job.
Then you hired the right actor, because no one ever looks more happy to be where they are than Mark Riccadonna. No matter what, no matter where you are, he always looks happy to be there. Even if he isn't, he looks it.
And the other co-star is Michael Satow. And it's about these two guys, how they deal with different characters coming into the story. Each episode, like I said, is anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes long. It's how they interact with these different characters. Richie, you play a character that comes in who's from Scotland, who's got a very heavy Scottish brogue.
Yes.
Scottish accent, I should say. And it's the difficulty of like, what is he saying? Like, what's he talking about? And it's the comedy of that. And there's multiple. We have Ernie O'Donnell who comes in. Chris Roach is on it. Who played Ernie O'Donnell's wife? I forget.
Patty Rossborough.
Patty Rossborough. Which I want to thank you guys because Patty and I have a very hard relationship. We love to give each other shit as much as possible. It's our thing.
And anybody watching, go back and watch the Patty Rossborough episode and just know that Richie and Patty actually like each other.
The last comic I needed to be there when I'm standing there in a kilt was Patty Rossborough. So
wait,
she shot right before me.
I was like, did we film? Because I know we filmed 3 episodes a night.
It was me. It was her episode, mine, and Roach's.
And Chris Roach.
It was the same night. That's right.
Yeah. It was like a 2005 reunion, stand-up comedy reunion.
But it was just Patty. She was so overwhelmed by how I looked that she almost couldn't get a joke out because there were so many running through her head at the same time. The put downs that were coming were just immense.
Overload.
No, it was, you guys did great. It was a lot of fun working with all of you guys. And I'll be honest with you, Ernie, who was on the show, he called me about a couple days ago and he told me, he's like, Tom, he goes, that was so much fun. He goes, it was a lot of fun. We've worked on a lot of different independent production. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just saying all of us, like the whole crew, all of you guys, everybody just came prepared. Everybody came to work. And the end result is what you get a good product when you have.
Well, I'll tell you, Tom, I love the concept that the lead characters never leave that set.
No.
So the world comes to them. They don't go to the world. And that's what I find interesting about it,
Well, look, Richie, I appreciate what you're saying, but to be honest with you, all I've done is put some of the pieces together, which is really the production. The creative piece of it, the stories, the themes, they come from Mark, Mike, our executive producer. Those guys are the guys who are really like coming up with some of the great ideas and the stories of keeping them in the shop and everything like
right.
that. I can't take credit and be like, oh, that was my like.
But honestly, it's a great concept. It really is.
Concept, and I love it tremendously because it's such a great collaborative team that we have. That puts a good, really cool product and a fun product.
And I'm not going to give Mark credit because I've known him for years and he's really not done anything for my career, but maybe I have a shot with you. So I'm just going to kiss your ass now.
Yeah. Well, believe me, Richie, the feeling's mutual. I do not want to help your career at all. So it works out great. That's why we get along so well. Neither of us like your career.
All right. So wait, hold on. So Mark, your background, you got a green background. Do you put something back there? Does Tony put something back there, or you're just in the green world?
No, that's actually his wall in his house. It's a bad paint job.
I'm in the green room.
Look at that.
Richie, where are you guys?
We're at Governor's Comedy Club in Long Island, and
nice.
That's where this comes out of the Gov's radios.
Nice
podcast. What would you call it? Gov's radio, right? Gov's podcast. Apparently, I got in trouble just now. And there it is right there. I live 2 miles away from here, so it's just easier for me to drive up. And
wait, that's right. You came from Long Island. That was a long fucking trip for you.
You think?
I love that, like all the Long Island guys, they get booked on something. They're like, that's like a 5-hour drive to get to that gig. Like, not if you lived in New York.
Well, you know what was rough about that night, Tom, that I remember? It was raining like crazy.
It was.
And that was the problem. The rain, driving in that rain was really scary. I remember trying to get out to the tent to the food, and the rain was just coming down.
People would run. It's like 2 feet in the rain. People were running to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Richie, I know you made the joke about it, but I am always happy wherever I am. And like every theater production I've ever been in, I love the cast. I love the crew. I love the theater. I love my character. And when it's over, I get really sad. And it's every theater production, every scene
And
night,
you worked with Nardiello.
every every film I've ever worked on, like at the end, I get really sad.
Yeah.
I get really sad that it's over. But with Checked Out, there was like I almost started crying because I was like, everything from sitting in the makeup chair
Mm-hmm.
to being on set, like we're running jokes where everybody
Mm-hmm.
came prepared, everybody knew what they were doing, all the actors came ready. There was never like we have to worry if somebody's not didn't do their homework. And so it was like it wasn't even like doing improv. It was like everybody was just in character. And if they went off and had another joke, like we were like, yeah, go with it. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I didn't do that at all, which is funny because I saw Roachy after me. Roach was doing that a lot. I didn't, and the reason I didn't was twofold. Number one, I didn't know how far you wanted me to go, and number two, I was so worried about that friggin' accent. Number three, all of a sudden I'm in a kilt, and I'm worried that it's gonna fall at any moment. I just kept thinking that kilt was gonna come off.
And
number
Patty
four,
Roscoe was there with a knife and fork going.
Yeah, I got Patty behind me. Then you hand me bagpipes and an umbrella. So I had and I'm like, I looked like a Bugs Bunny cartoon or something. I had so much crap in my hands. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep saying "fuck festival, fuck festival." So I'm glad to hear it worked out because I was just like, I have to just stay on point here because if I just felt like everything could I felt like I was in a game of Jenga. You know what I mean?
Well, what was great about Richie is we shot that, and within 30 days of each other, we had him playing an Irish mobster.
Yeah.
And he had a heavy Irish accent.
Yeah, I'm like, Mark, can I do one gig for you that I don't have to come up with some stupid accent, please?
And as you say it in your Long Island accent.
But it really, to the people, go watch this, man. It's good. It's really good. And you're right. Everybody who worked on it was amazing. Everybody gave a shit.
Yeah.
There was nobody there that was just there. That's what got me.
You know what's funny is every time I would watch one of the episodes, I would be like, oh, yeah, this is my favorite episode. And then the next one would come out and be like, oh, yeah, wait, this one's my favorite one. I can't, like, I love everybody who came in. There was nothing like where even watching them, there was no moment where I was like, oh, they're kind of out of character there. Or everybody came to play, man. And it was awesome.
I love
and
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think the fact that, and Richie, you brought this up, is that the fact that it's the one set, it's the one place that these two main characters, and also, by the way, you've got Jimmy Palumbo's character who is he comes in as the uncle in a couple of different episodes because he runs the place,
right?
But I think the fact that that's the set. It's like, and I'm not attributing this to Saturday Night Live, but it's like Saturday Night Live where people just come and they're like, all right, I feel comfortable and I can just work and I can roll with this. That was the environment we wanted to build, and it was built because of everybody's willingness to have fun.
Right.
I mean, even the cameramen were funny on set.
They were great.
When we're filming, the sound guy was funny. Everybody on set was funny. It was the perfect tone. It was the perfect vibe that I feel like all the actors got to totally let loose and do whatever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure. It was a lot of fun, and that's why we're going to do a second season, because a lot of the people, like I said, we've been getting people watching it, and people are seeing it, and the people who I've been commenting, and I'm getting comments on some social media. People are like, "Oh, this is hilarious. This is the type of comedy we need. This is the kind of show we need." And what's the end goal? Is it something where it's going to blow up and expand out into full episodes? I don't know. To me, and Mark, this is something that you, me, and Satow, and actually by one of the other writers, Tom Briscoe, came up with some great stories too as well.
Yeah.
Do we want to expand on this, or is this sort of a format where a great, you know, you can have a really fun show like this, and only, you know, and you can keep a through line with characters and character development and story development and stuff like that, and yet still have that comedy. But you don't have to have it. It doesn't have to be 22 minutes long. It can be like we were doing, 4 to 5 minutes.
Right.
Hit it and move on.
There's
True.
no, I mean, so we were bitching earlier about social media and all this stuff, but it's also like there's no rules anymore. You don't have to do a 22-minute show. You can do 10 minutes. You can do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's homes for it. There's a place for it.
What's your guys feeling on TikTok? What do you guys, how do you guys feel about TikTok?
I don't. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I mean, I feel it's the same way. I like Instagram a little more than TikTok, but like I have a TikTok and I post on it, but I don't follow it. I don't maintain it. I don't watch other people's videos. It's like, it's like just like something on the checklist. I got a new video, TikTok, Reels, YouTube.
Right. Is TikTok even giving, is there any monetization to TikTok? Because like I know YouTube and Instagram now is giving some monetization, but like I don't think there's any monetization to TikTok. I think
there is. You know who would know this? Ashley. If she was on today, our third wheel on the show.
She sucks.
She's
Stupid
in
Ashley.
Japan.
Ooh, I'm in Japan with the troops. Ooh.
I feel so bad she's missing an episode.
Yeah.
Because I'm curious, right? Like, didn't they mention something at the Grammys last night? How TikTok is everybody's music has been pulled, or music videos have been pulled from TikTok because they were not paying out for any sort of distributions and anything like that. Maybe I've got that story wrong.
No, you may not. I don't know any, but I don't know much about that stuff. You know,
I have to Google it. Oh, Google it. I have to Google that.
Yeah, Google that shit.
Google that shit.
So we're talking about checked out, but other projects you have going on is we have the you have Unsuited, which was an amazing pilot.
How's that? What's going on with that? Anything?
So we actually got 2 episodes that we've been screening. We screened it at the World Series of Poker in July last year at their main event. And then we just screened it again at the World Poker Tour down in Seminole, Florida. And Poker News, which is the major media outlet for the poker community, was there at the screening, and they wrote a great article, a great review on the show, and it's going well. We're in talks with the WPT right now and trying to get things moving ahead. We've gotten some interest from some distribution channels and services that are interested in wanting us to make more episodes, but you guys know the name of the game. You know, it comes down to financing, and you know, and I've been told that in this environment, we should go out and make our full season and then come back to the networks and say, hey, here's a full season. You're looking for content. Here it is. You don't have to produce. You don't have to put up the money. We've already done the work for you. And here's a high quality thing. So we feel really good about it. We're getting some, we've been talking to showrunners. So that, you know, that's where that is. And then we are in post-production on Beer League, the series. We brought back a bunch of the characters from the original movie, like Anthony DeSando, obviously Jimmy Palumbo, and Michael Deege. So we brought some of the original cast. We added some new cast. It takes place 16 years after the original movie, to kind of see where these guys are and what they're doing, and introducing.
It's the old timers league now.
Yeah, and introducing new characters. Jimmy's son, a girlfriend, and you know, they kind of see where they are 16 years later. So we're in post production on that. It's the first cut's been done, and I'm actually emailing our audio guy to finish audio for us this week. So it's coming along nicely. So those are the main 3 things that we have on our plate right now.
Awesome, man. I remember when I met you, Tom, at the reading, Mark, for what's his name's movie? The
beach one?
The Beached.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, you know, all the poker show and all, and how, so I'm really glad to see you got a lot going on, man.
Yeah, it's coming along nicely, man.
Because I remember you told me you'd put me in it if you sold it. Just
I would, of course.
That's nowhere. That's documented nowhere.
I think I had a camera on us when you said it. I might have footage.
Richie, you know what? You could say I'm so gullible. I'll go, yeah, okay, sure, all right, let's do it. No, it's fun.
No, man, that's great. I'm happy for you, man. That's great. You're working hard, that's for sure. You know,
and we're grinding.
And you know, it is an interesting time in that there, like Mark said, there are no rules, but because there are no rules, you're kind of making your own production shit up on the fly here. And a lot of times it's probably the wrong thing to do. If I tell the wrong joke, then I can move on from that joke and keep going. But if you're trying to come up with your own concept and you're going the wrong way, that could be a complete, like it could take a longer time for you. And that's got to be the tough part. Am I going in the right direction? You know,
it's definitely a challenge, right? So, I'll tell you, and you know what? This is a free space. This is a safe space, Tom. You can say what you want.
Yes.
We actually have an episode in Checked Out that just that instant thing absolutely happened. We had an episode where it's not part of season 1, and we felt, you know what, the joke didn't land. It didn't work. I don't know if it's going to work, you know? And if we put it out there, it could have killed us. Not in a bad way, like we said anything wrong, but it wasn't funny enough, right? Or it didn't work. It just fell flat. And, you know, Mark and I talked about it. We said, you know what? Let's just
on paper it worked, and then when in action it was like, yeah, this just doesn't land. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not up to par with everything else.
It's a constant. It's a constant thing, right, Mark? Like we're always talking about what works, what doesn't work, and you know, you take risks. I think that everybody wants to be a filmmaker. Everybody wants to tell a story, right? But you have to be sure that the story is compelling enough, right? That people want to hear it, that people want to watch it. And quite frankly, with that episode, I think we realized, I don't think people want to watch this, right? It's not, it just doesn't work, right? So you have to have that, you have to be really humble, right? And be like, okay, this sucks. I can't put this out there, you know, and not instead of, no, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put it out there and I want everybody to see it. Not everyone wants to see it, you know, like you have to be self-aware, you know, in a sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of independent filmmakers who also put who also put themselves.
Speaking of independent filmmakers.
Yeah. You know, I think independent filmmakers who also put themselves in the films where they're the star or they're like the co-star. I mean, it makes me cringe because I go, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't, like, you got to know what your
job well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah. Like the one thing I didn't like about Checked Out was all those times that Mark's dog just popped into the scene for no reason.
There he comes again.
Oh, he's so cute.
How professional are we as a podcast? I mean, I love
it.
Dogs pop up, children yell and scream. You just never know where we're going.
There was a child that screamed.
It's always
not today, but we've had that. Yeah, we've had that.
It's always my house, the kids yelling or the dogs showing up. It's always my camera. It's never. He gets jealous when
look at how cute he is. The dog's not bad either. Tom, how'd you get involved in all this?
Well, I went to Wagner College, my man. I was a theater major.
You were a theater major. What year? What year did you graduate?
Oh, really? You're gonna make me disclose that? 98.
Well, you don't have.
98.
You don't have to. 98.
No, 98. 98. I'm 48 years old. I'm 48.
I'm trying to think of.
Wait, hold on. Am I gonna be 49 this year? Oh fuck! I'm not depressed. No. So yeah, 98.
I have to really think about how old I am, and it's not because of that actor thing where it's like I don't want anyone to know how old do you want me to be in this, in this production. I legitimately have to do the math because it's like, what is it? 24 when you're allowed to start renting cars?
It's something like that.
Who's counting? Who's counting? What do you need to like? There's nothing to count for anymore.
Where's he going with this? I just got lost here somewhere.
Well, he's old. He's senile.
Why does he need a car? He has to rent a car.
Oh, you guys are too funny. You guys are too fucking funny.
Hey, Richie, put on your shaded fucking glasses and play a piano song.
So but at Wagner you were a theater major. Like
I did musical theater. I did the whole singing, dancing thing, and then I went to Mike.
So did I.
That's funny. Went to Mike Nichols acting school for my master's in acting, and then that's when I realized that I sucked.
What was that like?
I realized I sucked as an actor. I wasn't good. I was bad.
Do you know Rachel Nichols from ESPN? I think do you know that's Mike Nichols' daughter-in-law? I never knew that.
Really?
I happened to read that the other day. She's married to Mike Nichols' son.
Oh, that's so crazy.
You know who I'm talking about?
Tony?
No, I meant Tony. I know you do. Rachel Nichols.
Mark, where's he going with
this? She rented a car, Rachel Nichols.
She was 24.
So
let me do my impression of Richie during an interview.
Yeah,
Squirrel.
He's pissed now. He's pissed. This is Riccadonna all pissed off at me now.
This is as mad as I get. You better look out. You better watch out. If you have a bunch of balloons, I will pop.
He hasn't scolded me like this in a long time. So you realized you weren't a good actor, and you decided I'm going to get.
So I started working at the Visiting Nurse Association. I was doing overnight security, right? 180-pound security guard. Yeah, that really works. And I wrote my first play. And I raised money through friends and family. I put it up at the Producers Club there in the city.
Sure.
That was in 99, 2000.
That was back when you were able to rent theaters for normal prices.
Yeah.
Right?
And actually take risks. Now you remember David Hasselhoff starring in it, and you better have.
Do you guys remember the Producers Club had 2 theaters? Do you guys remember that?
Yes, I do, but I'm old.
So they had the one that's still there now, right? Mm-hmm. The real thin, and then they had the other one around the corner on 8th Avenue. It was on the 2nd floor, and it was actually a nice space.
Yeah, I saw a few things there. It was a nice little place.
It was a nice space, and we put 2 shows there, 99 and like 2000, 2001, and that's when I fell in love with like doing production and stuff like that. But I needed to get a fucking job, so I started working on Wall Street. So I've been working in finance on for about, oh my God, now it's got to be 25 some odd years. But I always just stayed involved. So I wrote plays and raised money. And the first movie that I did was called Two Sides of Love. It was a short film, and I did it as a play. We rented out a bunch of theaters in Jersey, right? In any like the community theaters when they were black. What we did was we went from different theater to different theater when they had their black dates. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take your theater during that time and I'm coming and put my show on. And it led to our first DP, Jeff Sesselberg. He was a stage manager at one of the theaters, came up to me and he goes, have you ever thought about making this into a film? And I was like, and Mark, Jeff.
Yeah, I love him.
He came up to me and he was like, we can make a movie into this. And I was like, all right, let's do this, And all of a sudden you just start doing your budget. You go, holy shit, this is going to cost a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, let's do this.
And then it was like, let's do a short film. And that was it. So, and then from there, I fell in love, created 624. That was back in, hang on, I have to date myself. Hold on, I got to look at my calendars here because I got pictures of everything.
With your backdrop, it looks like you're just looking at 624.
That was really weird. What you
not here, I'll show you. So oh shit, I just killed my camera. So, come on, you asshole.
When is your dog going to pop in?
Don't worry about it.
So it's my office. So I've got all the different movies we've done and all here's the checked out stuff. Pictures from backstage.
Nice.
Wow.
So so that was my first film. And then I just fell in love with it, man. But you know what? What makes it so much easier and better is people working with guys like you, honestly. And I know that people are gonna watch and go, oh, he's so full of shit, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's true, man. Working with guys like Riccadonna, with you, Richie, with Briscoe, with Roach.
Well, not Briscoe.
Satao,
but Not Briscoe.
Briscoe's great because he's the only honest one. He's like, I don't want to be in it. I'll write it.
Yeah.
I'll write.
Yeah.
He wrote
I
like
remember
3 of the
when Briscoe wrote the part I did.
Yes.
And I was saying to you, well, why don't you just get Briscoe to do it? And you're like, he doesn't want to. He just doesn't want to be an actor at all.
And I'm like, dude, you're like the only person in the world who's not trying to get in front of the camera. Yeah. He's like, no, true. Just let me write. Just let me write it. I don't want to be on.
We got to get him on season 2, Mark. We got to get him in.
He said he'll only play one character, and that's a heavy-set cop with a clipboard who says, Captain wants to see you. That's all he wants. And I was like, that's the great. Like,
that's right. He told me that. He's been trying to get on one of the shows like Law and Orders or something for years just to do that and be done with it.
How great would it be, though, if he got really popular, like as a comic, and then he was just in like a million TV shows and movies doing the same line?
Captain wants to see you.
Captain wants to see you.
It's starring Tom Briscoe. Captain wants to see you this week on Law and Order.
I love it. I love it. Did he? So I know I'm gonna stay sick. Did he actually do a role like that ever?
No.
That would be great.
But he's just obsessed with it.
Well, there's got to be a way to put this into the next season.
That's what I'm.
I'm thinking maybe a cop comes into the bodega, does his thing, and then at the last minute, some guy walks in and goes, "Captain wants to see you." That's the guy. That's it. That would be awesome.
What are you guys working on, Richie? What are you working on these days? What's going on with you?
You know, actually, something I'm gonna have to send to you eventually. I'm writing a musical with a friend of mine, and it's been on me to write the script, and I finally did. A couple of buddies of mine called me a few years ago and said, "Hey, we have this idea for a musical, and it's based on a true story about back in 1919." There was a scandal in Newport, Rhode Island at their naval base. And apparently there was like a whole homosexual underground there. And I am not making this up. They recruited
Richie to write it.
They recruited Richie to write it. But they recruited like 30 or 40 young, good-looking sailors to go in and infiltrate and have sex and then report it back. And it turned into... They went after these guys in court. They were court-martialed, and it turned out that it went all the way up to the head of the naval United States Navy, who at the time was some guy named Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yeah, and he was running. It got so out of control that they actually
just think of the coincidence that there was also a president named that a few years later.
Yeah, it's not the same guy. And and it eventually was swept under the rug, and no one knows about this scandal. And my friend happened to see it and decided, hey, this would make a great musical. So that's what we're doing. And I'm very proud of it, Tom. The music's great. And awesome.
Who's writing the music?
My friend Steve Baranski is writing the music. I'm writing the lyrics, and I wrote the story. And
I can literally say Doug Wilson and I came to see it, and Doug would love more than anything to have shit on it.
Yeah.
And the shit on Richie. And he was like, and he was looking at me while we were watching. He was like, this is amazing. This is fantastic.
The music's fantastic. And it was funny because they only had but he had another partner at first, and now it's just me. And when he sent me the first 4 or 5 songs, I'm like, all right, yeah, send it to me. Let me hear it. And I was like, oh my God, this is good. But they didn't have a story. They didn't have anything. So I put a story together, and we're hoping to get some backing for it. And we're going to start doing some showcases. I'll let you know all about it, Tom. I'd love you to come. I'd love to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see it. I'd love to hear it. And that's awesome, man. Musicals are, live theater is there needs to be more live theater.
Yes.
Right. And it's just, it's sort of, it's very difficult. You think making TV shows or movies is difficult. you independent people, filmmakers out there, try to do an independent live on stage and getting a theater, and it's crazy, right? The costs is just insane. So,
and it's my
good for you.
favorite. I've been in a lot of different aspects of the show business, as far as, and I have to say, live theater is still my favorite by far. It's just, I don't know why, but it juices me. It turns me on. It gets me going. I got so busy with comedy that I kind of lost my way with theater for a while, for a long time. And Mark will tell you, I'm taking this acting class in the city, and it's all I talk about. Like Mark knows, Mark's like, I haven't seen you this excited. So that's really, I'm still going to do comedy. I'm always going to be a comedian, right? But I'm really looking forward to getting more back into the acting and the singing and everything, So
I gotta say, dude, an acting teacher told me this back in the day, and I still think about it all the time. He goes, a really great movie will entertain you, but a really great piece of theater will change your life.
Right.
And I believe it. I love movies. I love TV. I can't get enough. I just restarted watching West Wing. That's that's a commitment.
Great show.
I worked at TKTS in the 80s with him. With
Sorkin.
Yeah, with Aaron Sorkin.
Dude,
we were runners at TKTS together, and he was always talking about this play he was writing, and it was A Few Good Men.
That's great. Dude, and you know what made me go back to watch The West Wing? I watched Newsroom. I rewatched.
How was it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like it?
I loved when it came out. I was addicted. Where every week I was like, okay, what time is it? When's the next one? Yeah. I just rewatched it and was like, holy shit, Sorkin. Pretty much. That's the dog licking the camera. Sorkin pretty much.
Sure, it is.
Sorkin predicted the future. Everything they talk about in Newsroom happened. It was holy shit! This guy's over the top brilliant.
Yeah, he can predict the future. I wish he was here to tell me the dog was going to lick the camera before it happened.
No, Sorkin is he's a great writer.
Sorkin.
Great creator. Yeah, West Wing's one of my favorites too, Mark. It's one of my all-time favorite TV shows. That NYPD Blue, those were my inspirations.
Yeah, I loved NYPD Blue, man. It was such
a great show.
Yeah.
Look at this puppy.
The dog is yawning, Mark. The dog. He's obviously watching the show.
We hit the time mark.
I think this is the dog's way of telling us to wrap it up. He's actually our stage manager.
He replaced Tony.
I love it.
All right, guys, you hit your time. Come on, wrap it up.
I know, Mark. That doesn't look good at all.
Wrap it up.
You know what's funny about this? Some people will watch this and think, "My God, how unprofessional they are," and other people watch it and go, "This is the most original thing I've ever seen in my life."
I love it.
The dog gets jealous when I'm podcasting or I have meetings on Zoom.
Well, I get jealous when you're with the dog. So
wait till
Richie, can you lick your own balls?
Oh, I can lick my own balls.
Then what are you doing on here?
I'm that old now. They've fallen that far down, Tom. I think it's time to go.
I think we can wrap on that one. Richie, do you have a joke you want to take us out on?
Shit, I forgot about a joke. Do you?
I just heard a really funny one. It was a rabbi was telling it at a thing. He goes, a rabbi, a priest, and a politician, or a rabbi, a Hindu, and a politician are walking through the woods, and it starts to get late, and they realize they need shelter. So they go to the farmer's house. They knock on the farmer's door. The farmer answers. They go, listen, we need a place to stay for the night. And he goes, okay, but here's the thing. I only have 2 beds. One of you have to sleep in the barn. So the Hindu goes, well, I'll sleep in the barn. And he goes, okay. So the Hindu goes out to the barn. the politician and the rabbi go into the bedroom and they're sleeping. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. The Hindu's at the door, and he goes, "Listen, there's a cow in the barn. I can't sleep in there. The holy sacred cow is in the barn. I can't sleep there." So the rabbi goes, "Fine, I'll go out. You take the bed. I'll go out to the barn." He goes out to the barn. They fall asleep. All of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. The rabbi is at the door, and he goes, "Listen, there's a pig out there, and I can't sleep with a pig. It's the kosher. I can't do it." So the politician goes, "Fine, I'll sleep out in the barn." He goes out to the barn. They fall asleep. There's a knock at the door. They open the door. There's a pig and a cow going,
Not our best.
Oh, that's good.
But
That's
a
a good one. I had a joke, but you're gonna have to tell it. I have to tell it to you guys off air because I don't know if I think I'd get in trouble for it if I told it. So
well, tell it. We could cut it out.
you really can't. You can't put this out there though. If I tell you guys this joke.
Tony, hit end. That's tricks, jokes, and storytelling.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, shit.
You took them off.
I hit the wrong button. Fuck.
All right.
Hang on.
Can we get them back?
I'm trying. Shit.
He hit the wrong button because I had to talk to them.